Excuse me, waiter. Could you please bring me your finest bottle of Fight Night?
It ain't much if it ain't Dutch. Just watch.
It's Fight Night, bitches.
Welcome back to Fight Night.
And
I think with
double
the second
forges,
forge, yeah.
if he gets to the 3-1 upgrade, it's gonna be close to impossible for MVP to win any fight. 3-1 zealots or 1-3 zealots, I must say, because of the armor upgrade.
Once you get that plus 2 armor, the Marauders do nothing versus zealots, and the Marines barely effective. It becomes quite difficult meals to break, and even then eating a little bit more damage on those storms. Thankfully, there's still enough medevacs here to heal. Marauders do target one of those High Templars, so that's not bad. MVP just, and you know what, this can actually give MVP a false sense of security. He's thinking maybe, okay, I'm stopping this third base from being built. I'm delaying his economy. And even though Hasselhoff's has maybe this better upgrade advantage, I can have an economic advantage. And not knowing about that top right base, Hasselhoff's, he's like, well, I actually do have a pretty good amount of income. I have the 5th and 6th gas, and I'm not as worried about the minerals just yet because I haven't had to trade away too much.
Exactly, and now we do see one storm going down, second storm going down, 2 good storms, 2 ghosts falling, and a lot of damage being given. Oh, great flanking storm there from Hasu once again, as well as the relevation. So this is looking good for Hasu, getting the second robo, getting the robotics bay, and getting the +3 armor, which is extremely important.
And of course, starting that next Nexus and 4 base Protoss versus 3 base Terran at this stage in the game, I feel like actually is a really, really big plus for the Protoss player, aside from the fact that obviously it's a hidden base that MVP can't harass the scouts, but we're also seeing that transition, a second robotics facility, the robotics bay, the Colossi will come into play. We don't actually have any Vikings on the map. I don't even think we have a second starport, but MVP actually already being awarded, and if canceling this base, he almost has to, but if he doesn't, that's just icing on the cake for Hasselhoff.
Yeah, but Hasu is fine cancelling this. He's gonna be on 1-3 upgrade. He's gonna have 2 Colossi out. Is there a second starport? No, there's not a second starport. There's 1 starport with a reactor, and there is no armory still. So the upgrades are gonna keep on getting better. And there we go, finally the armory and the second eBay. And MVP by now must be thinking, well, this guy has been on 2 base for 17 minutes. And once he sees the 2 Colossi, I think he will have a slight clue about what.
I think he'll realize that something might have slipped past him. And what better opportunity to try to pull something off like this than in this best of 1 scenario? If all he needs to do is fool MVP once, that's it. And Hasselhoff's force feeds a couple units in, picks him off, and he's like, man, where's all these units coming from? Especially the 2 Colossi that are now done, about to join the army. He has extended thermal lance just 30 seconds away. And I think if he tries to push with this +3 armor, it's how is he going to stop him with such a huge upgrade discrepancy?
Yeah, I'm wondering as well, once again.
And no Vikings.
Man, Hasu getting his 4th base at a kind of old location as well, and MVP has
worked once.
Yeah, might work twice in the same game is what Hasu is thinking. He's finally maxed out.
You look at how these upgrades line up, +3 with the extended thermal lance. He has everything that he needs to just pretty much just destroy this army. And without Vikings, the Colossi can do a lot to poke and force a fight that he doesn't need to keep his Templar extended for those ghosts to snipe. And now we see him moving more around in the field. MVP's, he's kind of running away.
Yeah, I think he clicked the upgrades like, what? You're up 2 upgrades, mate. I'm not gonna fight this. Well, he actually is gonna fight this. Great concave by MVP. All of the medevacts are out of energy though. So I would like to Hasu move back and cover himself with storms. Once those extra 2 Colossi join, I think he can fight again. And here we go. Oh, MVP coming in for the kill on those Colossi. 1 Colossi almost falling.
Great job playing the Colossi back, but the Zealot meat shield is gone. Waits for the next warp, and 1 more Colossus is picked off, and MVP loads up the rest of his army. Now we see that supply swinging in favor of our Mouse Sports player. The Oracle giving chase as well, so you can use the Revelation, get an idea of where those medevacs go. You won't be able to split any off for some kind of counter drop play. Meanwhile, the 2-2 is halfway done, but +2 attack is finishing first for Hasselhoff's. Cloak will be done soon. Is there an observer with the army? Are there even any ghosts left?
I don't think there's any ghosts left. If we take a look at the units, I have 2 ghosts left there in the medevacts, and I think one of them has an EMP. Yeah, one of them has an EMP. The other one has a single snipe. He will get a second snipe soon. MVP adding the second starport right now, but if we take a look at the upgrades, MVP is gonna be on 2-2 against 2-3. So it's looking a bit better already, but he still doesn't have a clue that Hasu is gonna be on 5 bases right now.
Yeah, that's what's going to make this game really, really awkward. He's finally that second starport he said about to finish. He does have a few Vikings in the field. working on his 3rd and 4th. And once this 2-2 is on, I feel like he's actually in a much better position to start to take some of these fights. It's still difficult, of course, versus that +3. But actually, I don't think he has the Observer with his army.
Oh, great storm by Hasu there. And Hasu tries to get back a little bit. Doesn't have a reinforcement pylon, I believe. No reinforcement pylon. So maybe you want to get that one before you fight Hasu. But 5 Colossi against how many Vikings? 4 Vikings. That's not even a single Viking for a Colossi.
That'll take you quite a while to destroy. And he actually does have the Observer, so the Ghosts won't find themselves any extra utility. +3 attack is now starting up for the Protoss player. And I feel like this play that Hasselhoff has made with the hidden bases has worked out incredibly well. And we've seen 80 probes if we're on SCVs. There is a supply lead for Hasselhoff, but it's pretty even as far as the total army supply. I still have to echo what you said, though. So many Colossi versus so few Vikings. How can you really hope to take a head-on engagement? And look, Hasselhoff spreading himself out. He's getting ready to deny this base once again.
Yeah, and this is looking very good for us. Oh, but a great spread by MVP. Is MVP actually gonna make this work?
Froden is so sexy. Fight night.
Get ready to fight. Raise your kappas. It's fight night.
We hope you prepared for more Fight Night.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to ESGN TV's Fight Night StarCraft Arcade Edition. We just had the first match of our playoff day semi-final with a victory for Hasselhoff over MVP. Harsum, it's now time to find out what map our next 2 players will be fighting on.
Yeah, it's gonna be Socke against Grubby, and Froden is gonna spin the wheel. I think there's 3 maps on it, and we're gonna find out which one it's gonna be. So Dan, take it away.
That's right, Kevin A. It's time to decide the second semifinal of playoff day. Let's go to the wheel and go for a spin. Don't mind if I do. 1 of 3. Only one of these maps will be played in the best of 1. What will it be? I feel like rain is coming. Oh! No, it's heavy rain. I'm sorry, I must have predicted it. Heavy rain it is! Socke, was this your map choice?
No, it was his actually, but I don't mind. All maps are fine to me.
Ooh, alright, well he's fearless. Grubby, so why did you pick heavy rain?
I had to pick one. I'm okay with all 2.
Picking your poison.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's it's PvP, and there are some preferences, but I think we're diverse enough to be able to play on any map.
All right, well, it seems to be pretty even matchup. Good luck, Grubby.
Thanks.
And good luck, Socke. All right, Kevin, you have your map. It's heavy rain, PvP. What's gonna happen? Back over to you guys.
Thanks, Dan, for that. We are ready here at the commentator desk to jump in to our second semi-final between Grubby and Socke. And this is, well, it's looking like another good one. It's to be played on Heavy Rain at PvP. Any thoughts as we load into our map, Kevin?
Well, Heavy Rain is one of those maps where Stargate play and proxies, both of them, are quite popular, as well as Blink play. I think actually Blink play way more popular than Stargate play because of this big area where you can blink into the main, and it's very hard to spot where he's gonna come from. He can go to the natural and he can go to the main base, and we're gonna load straight into the map right now as we do have them loaded in. We see the nice Grubby logo spinning around.
Yeah, we are here on Heavy Rain, and our first player spawning in the south position. He's got that cool new logo that's floating by the Nexus that was just added in. It is Grubby. And his opponent, spawning in the north position, the red Protoss player, recently doing XMG, it is Socke.
Yes, and we're just gonna see standard openers, no proxy gates coming out as of yet. Everything looking normal. We're gonna see the changes in build orders, maybe with gate timings. Sometimes we'll see a 12 gate, but mostly we'll see a 13 gate. Then after that we can maybe see some deviations with the gas timings. If it's not with that, we'll most likely only get to see differences after the Cybercore finish. Here we go. Sorry. Both gates going down at 13 supply, and both players opting to scout in their main base for proxies.
Yes, we got a pretty standard, no crazy early gateways, of course, no proxies that either of these players will find. So as this gets underway a little bit more, I do want to take some time to quickly thank GameHeart for putting together the awesome overlay that we do use. If you guys saw in our first match, we had the upgrade timings available as well, but just gives a little bit more, exposure to the players. We have the logos for the teams that they respectively play on, of course, in their bases as well as outside of the naturals on this specific map. Just one of the cool tools that makes it a little bit easier to commentate these games and show you what exactly the players are really doing that's so special.
Yeah, exactly. And so far, no big changes from either player. We see Socke going for 3 guys in one gas, 2 in the other. Grubby does the same, rallies 1 to finish the gas, basically 3 guys in both gases, and Socke still going 2 out of 3 in both gases right now. So he will go for a second gate, and this might actually be 3-gate pressure.
Yeah, the scouting probes are actually going out for both players at the same time, and they will cross paths in the center of the map. Just trying to get a grip on what each other are actually doing, but that second gateway, that's on the way for Socke. How do you feel about this? I think it's kind of I've always been a fan of the 3-stalker rush. Is that a popular build, you'd say, in his arsenal?
Yeah, I'm not sure how Socke plays this matchup normally, but it still is a popular build, and I think this is the build we're going to be seeing. We're going to see a Stalker, Mothership Core, a Pylon, and after that 2 more Stalkers, and then we'll see if the Warp Gate will be chrono boosted, or he will save the chrono boost for something else, whether that be Blink, which on this map is quite likely, or just on probes to be a bit more economical. It's all available for Socke.
All right, well, he does have the Stalkers queued up and a Twilight Council on the way for Grubby. And you already said this is a good map for Blinks, and I think both of us probably have played a reasonable amount, and I can't disagree with you on that. There's just so much area that you can blink up through, so much cliff space. And actually, Twilight Council on the way for Socke as well. Looks like both players might have the same idea here. What do you think the odds of any chance we might see Dark Templar is? Does
if
that
it's
ever
going to
happen?
be Dark Templar, it probably most likely is going to be Grubby. Oh no, never mind. It's going to be 3-gate, so it's going to be Blink most likely actually. He has a lot of gas saved up though, which surprised me a bit. That's why I thought he might be going for Dark Templar, but no, going for Blink. And Socke also has the 3-gate, so this 100% is going to be Blink. Grubby is going to scout the Blink as well. He sees the animation is a lot quicker than if nothing is researching from there. However, it can still be fake. He lost his Mothership Core though, and that's a nice pickup for Socke.
Yeah, it's 100 gas down the drain at the start of this game. Socke, his Mothership Core was scouting as well, but it looks like he should be able to escape. Might have to utilize a recall or a time warp. I'd be a little bit surprised if he caught him. He's actually being dangerous. Is he going to get him?
Socke.
Wow. It's a bad trade to take at the start, and no, barely does not make it, so it ends up, I guess, being an even trade between the two of them.
Yes.
But they both have pylons, actually.
It's not actually an even trade, because Grubby traded his Mothership Core for information, while Socke traded his Mothership Core for, well, nothing. All he saw was 2 Stalkers, and that's kind of standard if you saw Grubby's gas timing. However, Socke might be able to get some information with those 3 Stalkers, and there's being more Stalkers opening. 1 extra coming along, so it's gonna go up to 4 Stalkers, but Grubby is in a great shape. He has his Mothership Core rebuilt, he has 4 Stalkers and a Sentry.
You make a great point about the Mothership Core. If he goes up that ramp with just his Stalkers, he could get force fielded very easily and just lose everything. Both players are transitioning into the robotics facility, so this is at least keeping the option open to defend against the Stalkers, maybe taking expansion afterwards. But I still feel like this is a slightly more defensive play with the Sentry on the high ground for Grubby, and I think with the Nexus, yeah, he's just going to start a Nexus in his natural, and I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we saw the same from Socke, but does look like he's actually moving out with a few more units on the map.
I think Socke will get an Observer, warp in 1 more round, and then check if there's an Expo for Grubby. If there's not an Expo, he will warp in more. However, if he sees something like this, only 4 Stalkers, he must be a bit surprised now. He did see the Blink, and Grubby is going to need an Immortal to hold this off, but I think a Nexus cancel is going to be something unavoidable.
Yeah, it'd be quite difficult to hold on to this. Just purely looking at the investments made into army and economy. And Grubby, as you said, begins that immortal. And Socke, he's not even trying to stack up probes or anything like that. As I said, he just starts up once again. Grubby's careful. Getting chased, the first force field is planted, but still not really doing too much for himself. Just shield damage taken by Socke. And, well, the Nexus, it gets canceled.
Yeah, and the first immortal is out for Grubby, so he's in a quite okay defensive position. Needs to warp in a few more stalkers to be able to contest Socke's force, and if Socke wants to get up this ramp, he will have to do it blinking up. And one thing that you don't want to do against immortals is blinking up ramps. However, he decides to go for it. Immediately snipes a bit of a miss micro there by Grubby. This is some good blink stalker micro though. Here comes the photon overcharge as well. Grubby not losing a stalker yet, killing 2 of Socke. However, 2 sentries will both go down, I feel like. So after all, not that bad of a trade Socke, but great blink down.
A low ground blink for Grubby, basically saying, yeah, you're not leaving anytime soon. And now with the next warping coming in for Socke, this comes down to the pure micro battle. And kind of funny, these guys had a lot of their micro tested throughout this week's fight nights, but he does manage to keep a good portion of his stalkers alive, and a bit of a supply lead now for Grubby. Can he take his expansion? He does have that immortal backup and give his army a little bit more of that backbone.
Yeah. As well as a 7 probe lead at the moment, which will be very interesting. It will come into play for sure if expansions will be made, or well, in Grubby's case, more when the expansion will be made, because if you have this many probes, you really do want an expansion.
Right, could not agree more. The second immortal is about to pop out, of course. The first one was destroyed, but now there's the first one is coming out for Socke, and it looks like he's pretty much reserved himself. He's like, yeah, can't really get around taking an expansion at this point. And there is the Nexus. Grubby should be similarly timed, and yeah, there it is. Both players just kind of recognizing that this super early game aggressive stage has come to an end.
Yeah, Grubby is a bit more blind than Socke. Socke at least kind of knew what Grubby was doing. Grubby doesn't know if Socke is getting DTs, if he already has maybe he double expanded, whatever. Socke could be doing anything right now. So the thing that Grubby needs to do is see what's happening on Socke's side of the map. And I think Grubby will be very pleased the moment he scouts with the probe, and he'll see, expansion about the same timing as me. I think I have a better army. I think I did this fight better. I might have lost the Immortal, but he lost about 4 or 5 stalkers. And with those 4 or 5 stalkers lost, he kind of lost map control, or well, he isn't really allowed on the map anymore. If he does so, he might get caught by Grubby.
Yeah, this is I think it's like it could be a tense situation, but just looking at how neither players have their armies on the map, it just kind of shows the passive mindset they have. Getting the forges as well, if you want to invest into the upgrades, we're a little ways away from any type of potential timing. And as these both Nexuses complete, it's kind of like, well, you want to wait for that investment to pay off a little bit, maybe move up to 6 gateways, or at least add on some further form of tech, since both of them have a pretty easy jump between both a robotics bay, but also a Templar archives.
Yeah, and Grubby does not spot the Socke's observer coming into the main base, even though he has quite nice vision right now.
Yeah, he gets a hallucinated Phoenix Grubby into Socke's base, so he gets information as himself, gets a full read on everything that Socke is up to. So it's kind of like both players really have all the information, and it is a robotics bay for both of them.
Almost a complete mirror timing right there. It's about a second in between those 2 robotics bays. So after 3 Immortals, both of them decide to go into the Colossi. I would love to see a prism being built right. Oh, actually, never mind. They both have blink already, so a prism would not be the best idea. I was thinking normally in a Colossi against Colossi, the guy with the prism Immortals is better, but there's already blink, so scratch that. I forgot about the early game for a second there.
I mean, it's kind of interesting to really look at the way that they choose their strategies, though. Neither player willing to go fully all in. Socke was pretty committed early on with trying to end it, but he didn't overextend himself so much that he put up the risk of losing the game, because it's important to remind you guys that this is a best of 1. One big mistake can cost you. That's it. Can cost you your bid at the big money.
Yeah, and third base going down for Grubby. Socke, however, opting for the second robo over the quick third base. Both of them will be able to continue upgrading as they got the Twilight Councils early, so they won't need to spend gas anymore on that. 1-0 just finished for Grubby and is about to finish for Socke as well. And I don't think Grubby can be offensive. He is building pylons all around the map, but I don't think this is the time to attack. Maybe he wants to fake some pressure, or maybe just get some map vision. If we take a look at Grubby's map vision right now, you can clearly see that he is the one with more knowledge of what's happening on the map. He has almost every path covered.
It's a fantastic pylon spread, and aside from any vision it gives him, if he does decide to attack at any point, he has those reinforcement points very close by. He's moving into his Templar archives while we see the double Colossi production for Socke. So it's already a little bit of a difference as far as the overall direction. I always like to see the Archons come into play. They're the least affected by the big powerhouse Protoss units, since they're pretty big, dealing with the splash. And of course, Immortals won't do bonus damage versus them. Any thoughts on how you feel this composition can clash? Fewer Colossi with Archons versus a few more Colossi?
Well, the thing that Grubby needs to do is he needs to... he's gonna fall behind in Colossi by about 3 or 4, so it's gonna be like 9 against 6 Colossi. The thing that Grubby needs to do is climb up to, let's say, 8 Colossi while he's doing Prism Harass. Having more gateways than Socke and having the earlier Templar tech means that you can kind of go into harassing with the Prism a bit earlier. It's also maybe, how silly it sounds, even if you have less Colossi, you can be a bit more aggressive on the map. However, Socke isn't getting a third base yet.
Yeah.
He is adding 3 more gates, and with double robo.
So I'm wondering, do you just push with the extended thermal lance and maybe the +2 attack? Just try to go for a full-out assault using this this double robotics facility back one so that he can't, as you said, get those additional upgrades, or at least get the additional gateway units out by not having that Colossus production.
Yeah, I think he's gonna wait for charge, so that's about 60 more seconds, and then he's gonna push in with 4 Colossi against most likely 3 Colossi from Grubby's side. If Grubby does not continue chrono boosting 1 Colossi now immediately, he won't be able to get his out, but Grubby is in a big supply lead. If you take a look at the army tab, we see that it's 84 army supply for Socke against 79 of Grubby, but it's mainly in the worker count where Grubby is at. It's 63 workers against 47. Socke blinking forward, denying that Zealot did not see everything, but the hallucination will take care of that. Saw the 4 Colossi, sees that there's 4 Immortals, and this is a very scary force for Grubby to fight against.
Yeah, Grubby knows what's coming. Plants the cannons, and well, here comes Socke from the west side, and Grubby's army actually not quite in position, but I don't think it matters as much as long as he keeps mining on that Nexus. Big Stalker blink into the main base though, chewing away at the probes. He's really forcing Grubby to multitask, and he tries to run out the Templar to get a feedback on the mothership core. He is able to grab that, so no time warp or recall available anymore.
And that's really big. Basically, in PvP, the time warps are the most important thing that there is. And here comes Socke with a charge. No, he decides to not go for it. He's going a bit for the probe. He's a bit hesitant right now, and the 4th Colossi is out for Grubby as well. Grubby with a big supply lead. Army supply in favor of Grubby, and I think he has the better concave as well. No time warp going down, however, there is the photon overcharge.
Yeah, that helps. Just eats up so much damage. Almost 700 points of damage it's taken. The Zealots are pushing up. At the same time, Grubby was able to get some Zealots into the natural expansion of Socke, adding in additional damage. More Templar being warped in, but they've kind of traded blows at the economy, but Grubby's still investing in a few Zealots to trickle along there. That's what we were talking about, that pylon coverage on the map. And this third base is still alive. All Grubby has to do, really, is not lose this, because he's dealt economic damage to Socke. Socke doesn't even have a third base, and now we're seeing Grubby actually just say, no, I think I'm in a position where I can just fight you head to head.
Yeah, and he can. He has, even though he only has 2 Colossi against 4, he has
he brings
4
in the probes
Immortals left. He has 4 Immortals left. He brings in the probes to tank a bit, and this is game over. GG being called by Socke. Grubby takes the game, advances on to the finals to face Hasuox. And I do believe we also have a third place decider.
I'm not 100% sure on how we're doing that, but a great game by Grubby. I have to say, really, we kind of talked about early on, and it was one of those things. While Hasuox was bringing, while Socke was bringing that big powerful push to his base, by having so much map vision, by having those pylons scattered across the entire field, Grubby had a perfect opportunity to bring that counter harass. And at that point, once you're the defender, as soon as you force the attacking player to spend their warpins at home to defend, you've already done so much damage to the push just because it won't get any bigger. And we saw, as you said, it bought him enough time to get out the additional Colossus, evened out the count. And I mean, by the time he was actually able to force the fight, Socke was already way behind.
Exactly. The moment Socke pushed out on the map, he actually was ahead by 15 or 20 supply, and the moment he arrived, he actually was behind 15 supply. So that's how much time Grubby won, just with the Zealot, with the hallucination, being a bit annoying, trying to get in a better position, and yeah, it wasn't enough for Socke. So congratulations to Grubby for winning that game, and I think we're gonna go to a winner's interview with Dan right now. So I'm gonna throw it over to Dan, and we'll be right back with the finals.
So, Grubby, congratulations, man. And now you have a destined rematch against Hasuabs, who took you out last time in Fight Night. Are you looking for revenge?
Yeah, I am. I'm looking forward to playing against him again.
All right, cool. So now you've also gotten second place, and it's down to you and Hasuabs, hands down the two best players in the arcade editions, and now the two best players here for this series. I feel like this match was destined by fate.
Yeah, I think. I think because we did well in the arcade, our enthusiasm fueled us on the most. So I think that's why we got excited as the fight nights were proceeding.
For sure. Well, I don't want to delay your preparation too much. Good luck in the final match, and I can't wait to see what happens. All right, let's go to a quick commercial break. It's Grubby versus Hasuabs in the final of StarCraft 2 Arcade Edition. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned for more Fight Night.
I could jokingly say that, yeah. The best gamers in the world are from the United States. Fight Night.
I am better at StarCraft than you. You know, sometimes, late at night, I think about Fight Night!